things you should know before going to a yoga class. So a little bit of background on my yoga experience. So my sister convinced me to go to a yoga class and I really liked it, so I joined that summer, and then the summer after that, and then I started going more consistently throughout my senior year and then that summer, and then I tried to go throughout my freshman year of college, which was this past year, but I haven't gotten to go as much as I've been wanting to, but I absolutely love the practice of yoga. It's so awesome, and a lot of people think it's pretty easy, but just going into it, just have an open mind, because it is not as easy as I thought it would be, and I got a lot more out of it than I really thought I would. So I'm just going to be giving kind of tips and things that I would like to know if I didn't have my older sister going with me to the first class, just to tell me like certain random things to know beforehand. So I would definitely go early to a yoga class. I like to be early to basically everything. My classes at school, my workout classes, just everything. I like to be prompt and on time. I don't know why, I just do. It just makes me feel at ease when I'm there and I'm ready and I'm all set up and I don't have to rush myself. So it's really nice to go early, find the spot that you like, and maybe stretch a little bit beforehand. Even though you may be going to an hour class, it's always nice to stretch before and after, or just kind of get your mind ready for what you're going to do. Another thing that maybe not all teachers mention in yoga is that you can use child's pose as a break at any point. So yoga is something that, and I find this in every exercise class that I go to, but you need to take your own pace. And a lot of times, especially I found when I first started doing yoga, is that downward facing dog, it kind of, because sometimes it can hurt your hands or your shoulders being in that pose for a long period of time. So definitely take child's pose whenever you need it. This is, remember, you need to remember throughout this class that this is your time and you get out of it what you put into it, but you also need to listen to your body. So definitely take child's pose as needed. Personally, when I first started yoga, I really liked to go in the back of the class, and just because I felt like I could see people in front of me. Now every instructor is different, but sometimes they are in the front, you know, showing you what you have to do, and sometimes they are coming around just making sure that you're adjusted correctly, and if not, making adjustments for you and just kind of setting the tone for the class. But it's really nice to be in the back just so you can see everyone in front of you and kind of get a view for what the poses consist of, because when you're first starting yoga you probably don't know most of the poses, so it's really helpful. Another thing which I would recommend, it is kind of optional, all of these tips are optional, this is just my experience, but to bring a water. Although it's not a huge cardio based class or anything like that, that you're sweating so much and just becoming so out of breath, it is still exercise and it still is very difficult and straining. So, you know, maybe before you take child's pose during your breaks, take sips of water, or just throughout the class, or even just having it after on your walk or drive home or whatever is really helpful, just because whether you're taking hot yoga or not hot yoga, you are probably sweating a lot and you really need to stay hydrated. Another thing I would recommend is to introduce yourself. So a lot of times, even if it's a new instructor, or if I have been to a certain class or to a certain studio or to a certain instructor's class, I always like to introduce myself, you know, say, hi, I'm Lindy, I've been going to this studio for the summers, my sister introduced me to this studio. Or, hi, I'm Lindy, I've been practicing yoga for about 2 years now, and this is my background with yoga, and this is how I got involved, whatever. Even if it's just something short and you telling them your name, it's really nice. Another thing I recommend is to wear your hair in a bun or something out of your face. Now my hair is about medium length. I personally like to put it in a bun just because even when it's in a ponytail, I feel like the ponytail is just kind of in my way when I'm going through pose to pose. It's kind of like more flopping around and going all over the place, and you might kind of have to adjust it. But with a bun or a top knot, I feel like it's just going to stay in place and not be in your face at all and just be out of the way. For me personally, I really like to wear leggings and a tank top. I don't really like to wear t-shirts to yoga just because I feel like it's very restricting in the shoulder and upper arm area, and a lot of the poses you want to be able to feel free and be able to move really nicely, so that's what I like to wear. Another thing I recommend is to maybe look up some poses before if you're curious about yoga before you go to a class, and maybe you're like, okay, it's kind of a hard workout class to explain, to be honest. Like when my sister was telling me about it, I was really kind of intrigued but curious and confused when she was telling me about it. So we actually looked up some YouTube videos and I just kind of got a feel for what yoga actually is and what some of the poses are, and then maybe you'll be more familiar once you start the class. Then you won't be like, okay, well, what the heck is downward facing dog, because we're going in this pose like a million times and I don't even know what it is. So that can be really helpful. Another thing I recommend, if it is warm where you live, or if you're doing yoga during the summer or spring or fall or whatever, wear some flip-flops or sandals. The studio that I go to, right when you walk in, you take your sandals off and put them on mats, and then you walk in, sign in, go in the room, put your stuff down and whatnot. But so every place is different. You know, if you are on a college campus and you are joined at a gym, then maybe you would just walk there and wear tennis shoes and then just take them off and put them in a little cubby or something like that. But sandals in the warm weather is so nice and convenient because you can just slip them right off. Another thing that is optional is to bring like a small towel, especially if you're doing hot yoga and you're just a beginner and you don't have a yoga towel or anything like that to put on your mat. Just a small hand towel to kind of like wipe off your hands or your face throughout the class is really helpful, because in hot yoga, I get super sweaty and it makes the mat slippery, and you can even wipe your mat off a little bit at times throughout the class if that's helpful for you. But yeah, bring a small towel for sure. And one final thing I'm just going to tell you guys is everyone is at different levels. Some people are beginners, some people have been doing yoga for like 20 years, so don't get discouraged and don't focus on those other people in your class. Yoga is about focusing on yourself and your self-improvement and setting your intentions for you. So make sure that you're not doing it for anyone else and that you're not worried about other people in the class or outside of the class or whatever. Just be focused on the present and yourself. And I wish you all the best of luck in your yoga practices. And if you'd like to see a video on my yoga experience and other yoga videos, let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.